Have you ever reached for a handful of nuts, thinking you were doing something good for your health, only to discover later that some of those healthy snacks might actually be stealing your strength? For millions of seniors, the wrong choice of nuts could be silently weakening your legs, inflaming your joints, and putting extra stress on your heart. And at our age, where every step counts, that quiet damage adds up fast. You see, not all nuts are created equal. Some are loaded with inflammatory oils, excess omega-6s, or anti-nutrients that interfere with muscle retention, circulation, and bone health. The result? More stiffness, more fatigue, more risk of needing canes, walkers, or worse. But don't worry. Today we're setting the record straight. In this video, you'll discover 3 nuts you should never touch again if you care about your legs, your heart, and your independence, and 3 powerful nuts you should be eating every single day to stay strong, steady, and sharp. Before we get cracking, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss another senior health tip made just for you. And if this video helps, comment 1 below. If not, type 0. I value your feedback. Let's dive in. Part 1. 3 nuts you should never touch. 1. Peanuts. Peanuts are everywhere. You'll find them in snack bowls at family gatherings, tucked between slices of bread in classic sandwiches, or hidden in so-called healthy energy bars. They've been marketed for years as heart-healthy, affordable, and convenient. And to be fair, they do carry a certain nostalgia. Peanut butter on toast, trail mix on road trips. But as the years pass and the body changes, what once seemed harmless can become a quiet threat. One that slowly wears away at the very strength and independence we work so hard to preserve. The truth is, peanuts aren't even true nuts. They're legumes, which means they grow underground, making them especially vulnerable to contamination by aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by mold. While younger bodies may have once cleared these toxins with little consequence, our ability to detoxify naturally declines with age. That means what was once a minor concern can now pose a much larger threat: silent liver damage, increased cancer risk, and accelerated cellular aging, all quietly weakening your legs, your heart, and your immune system without obvious warning signs. Peanuts also come with a heavy load of omega-6 fatty acids, which tilt the body's natural balance toward inflammation. That slow, low-grade inflammation doesn't just live in your joints. It moves through your arteries, your muscles, even your brain. It's the kind of damage that doesn't hit all at once, but chips away over time, turning stairs into a struggle, balance into uncertainty, and clear thinking into a fog. And for many of us over 65 who rely on blood thinners, there's another hidden risk. Peanuts contain vitamin K, which can interfere with the way these medications work. That means your careful dose may not do what it's supposed to, leaving you vulnerable to dangerous clotting or unexpected bleeding. A risk far too great for a snack that doesn't give much back. Even peanut butter, which feels like a healthier option, often carries more risk than reward. Most commercial brands are packed with hydrogenated oils, added sugar, and salt, a triple threat for heart disease, blood pressure issues, and vascular aging. And all the while, you might think you're making a better choice. The real danger of peanuts is not just what they do to one part of the body, it's the cumulative wear. The way they weaken your legs, dull your mental clarity, tighten your joints, and quietly cut into the years you still have left to enjoy. And worst of all, they often do it under the disguise of a healthy snack. But peanuts aren't the only hidden danger. There's another nut that's buttery, smooth, and beloved by many, but it may be quietly undermining your bones, making fractures more likely and recovery more difficult. Let's take a closer look at this next sneaky saboteur. You may be surprised by what's really going on inside your pantry. 2. Cashews. At first bite, cashews seem like a gift, creamy, rich, and wonderfully satisfying. They feel indulgent without the guilt, and for many older adults trying to eat better, cashews carry the glow of a smart snack. Something elegant, something healthy. But beneath that buttery, familiar comfort lies a quiet danger. One that doesn't just add a few extra calories, but can undermine the very bones that keep us upright, mobile, and independent. As we age, bone loss becomes one of the greatest invisible threats to our freedom. It doesn't knock on the door. It creeps in silently, weakening the hips, thinning the spine, hollowing the strength from your legs. One day, It's just a little more trouble getting up from a chair. Another day, it's a fall that changes everything. And cashews? They can quietly speed up that decline. These popular nuts are high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind to calcium in the digestive tract and prevent it from being absorbed. Instead of going toward building strong bones, that calcium is flushed away. You could be eating all the right foods, even taking supplements, but if you're also regularly snacking on cashews, some of that effort may be lost. Slowly, the bones become more fragile, the wrists more vulnerable, the hips more likely to break in a stumble you never saw coming. I remember my friend Margaret, 78, who loved cashews with her tea in the afternoons. She never thought twice about it until a minor misstep in her kitchen left her with a fractured hip and months of painful recovery. When her doctor reviewed her diet, he gently pointed out the hidden impact of oxalates. It wasn't just bad luck. It was accumulation, years of small habits adding up. And it doesn't stop at the bones. Cashews are also higher in carbohydrates than many other nuts, and for seniors already dealing with prediabetes or blood sugar sensitivity, they can cause sudden spikes that quietly damage the tiny blood vessels in the legs and feet. Over time, that damage shows up as numbness, weakness, or wounds that won't heal. The things that once made walking easy begin to slip away. Then there's the kidneys. The very same oxalates that rob your calcium can crystallize in the kidneys and form stones, a condition that becomes more common and more dangerous after 60. If you've ever passed a kidney stone, you know it's no small discomfort. And for older adults already navigating hydration issues or diminished kidney function, cashews can tip the balance from manageable to miserable. Even their shape poses a problem. That smooth, curved texture makes cashews one of the more common choking hazards, especially for those with dry mouth or weakened chewing strength. It's a cruel twist. What feels so easy and soft going down might carry one of the greatest risks. So before reaching for that bowl of cashews, pause. Consider whether the snack is still working for your body or quietly working against it. But cashews aren't the only danger that hides behind a gentle appearance. There's another nut, smaller, quieter, and far more common, that can interfere with your very medications, disrupting the careful balance your body relies on to stay well. Let's explore that next. What you learn may change more than just your snack drawer. 3. Pine nuts. Did you know that pine nuts can interfere with over 60% of medications commonly prescribed to adults over 65? And most people have never been warned about it? It's a quiet danger, tucked inside a food that looks harmless, even elegant. Sprinkled on salads, blended into pesto, pine nuts carry the image of health and refinement. But the truth is, for seniors, these tiny seeds can pose a triple threat, targeting your medications, your muscles, and your mind. The first and perhaps most alarming risk is how pine nuts interact with essential medications. Many seniors rely on prescriptions to manage blood pressure, cholesterol, depression, or blood thinning. Pine nuts contain compounds that can alter how these drugs are absorbed or metabolized in the body. The result? Sudden spikes or drops in blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, clotting complications, all without warning. And because pine nuts are rarely discussed in medical settings, many doctors don't think to mention them as a possible concern. But the risks go beyond medication. Pine nuts have been linked to a rare but very real condition called pine mouth syndrome, where everything you eat or drink begins to taste metallic or bitter. It can last days or even weeks. For a younger person, that might be an inconvenience. But for an older adult already struggling with appetite, reduced taste sensitivity, or weight loss, it's a serious issue. When food stops tasting good, we eat less. We grow weaker. Our legs lose muscle, energy drops, healing slows. What started as a small snack can quietly snowball into frailty. And then comes the damage you don't see: oxidation. Pine nuts are high in delicate polyunsaturated fats, which oxidize quickly, especially if they've been sitting on the shelf too long. Once oxidized, those fats release compounds that promote inflammation throughout the body. In the joints, this can lead to stiffness and pain. In the arteries, it contributes to narrowing and hardening. In the brain, it accelerates cognitive decline. You might feel more forgetful, more mentally sluggish, or less steady on your feet, and never guess that part of the cause could be what's in your pantry. Even the shape of pine nuts isn't senior-friendly. Their small, slick texture makes them a choking hazard, particularly for those who experience dry mouth, reduced saliva, or swallowing difficulties, common after 65. It's one more risk layered on top of a long list. When you put it all together, medication disruption, appetite suppression, inflammation, oxidation, and physical choking risk, pine nuts emerge not as an innocent garnish, but as a food that can erode strength, memory, and safety in quiet, compounding ways. But the good news? Not all nuts are like this. In fact, some are powerful allies in your journey to stay clear-minded, steady on your feet, and strong in your bones. Are you ready to discover the first one? It just might change the way you snack forever. Let's explore it together. Part 2. 3 nuts you must eat every day. 1. Almonds. The older I get, the more I've come to believe it's the little things that carry the most weight. Not the big leaps, but the quiet choices, like what we eat each day, that shape how strong we stay. That's why I never look at a handful of almonds the same way anymore. Because in this season of life, almonds aren't just a snack, they're a lifeline. I learned that the hard way watching my neighbor Ruth. She's 74, lives just 2 doors down, and was always on her feet, gardening, walking the dog, baking for the church. But last year, she slipped on her front steps and fractured her hip. One moment, she was full of life, and the next, she was in a rehab bed for months. What shocked her most wasn't the fall, it was the scan her doctor showed her. How brittle her bones had quietly become. She said, "I never thought something as small as a snack could have helped." Now she eats almonds every day. Because inside those small bites is a powerful defense against what age tries to take. Almonds are packed with calcium and magnesium, 2 nutrients that team up to build and preserve bone density. Calcium does the strengthening, and magnesium ensures it gets absorbed properly. So it ends up in your bones, not your arteries. That's a key difference as we age. But the help doesn't stop there. Almonds also fuel your muscles. Their plant-based protein and healthy fats help maintain strength, so you can stand without wobbling, climb stairs without gasping, and carry on without always needing help. And for seniors like Ruth and me, that kind of quiet independence is priceless. Almonds are also kind to the heart. Their monounsaturated fats have been shown to lower LDL, the bad cholesterol that stiffens arteries and makes the heart work harder than it should. Every small handful you eat is like giving your heart a break and a bit of protection. What most folks overlook is how almonds help the mind too. Inside their thin brown skin are antioxidants that fight oxidative stress, the stuff that makes memory fuzzy, reaction time slower, and mood less steady. You don't notice it in one bite, but give it a few weeks, and many seniors say they feel more alert, more with it, more themselves. And don't forget the fiber. It helps digestion stay smooth, which means less bloating, less discomfort, and more energy to stay active. That's no small thing when your day depends on how light or heavy your body feels. In every way that matters, bones, muscles, heart, and mind, almonds show up to support you. They remind us that aging doesn't mean surrendering strength. It means feeding it wisely. But here's the best part. Almonds are just the beginning, because the next nut we're going to talk about, it does something few foods can. It helps rebuild the very circuits of your brain, sharpening memory, clearing the fog, and supporting clarity like you haven't felt in years. Let's explore it together. 2. Walnuts. There's something almost poetic about the walnut. Intricate, folded, and remarkably shaped like the human brain, as if nature herself left us a quiet clue. This one's for your mind. And for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, holding on to clarity, movement, and independence, walnuts aren't just a snack. They're a quiet form of protection. As we age, the brain begins to change. Not all at once. Sometimes it's a pause in your step, a word you reach for but can't find, or a moment of hesitation before sitting down or standing up. These aren't just inconveniences. They're reminders that the connection between mind and body needs tending. And that's exactly where walnuts shine. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that supports the structure and flexibility of brain cell membranes. These fats move through the body and settle into the brain, helping keep your neurons sharp, responsive, and healthy. But even more impressive is this. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who regularly consumed walnuts showed significantly better cognitive function over time, particularly in memory, focus, and processing speed, especially those at higher risk of cognitive decline. But walnuts go even deeper. They contain polyphenols, antioxidant compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier, a rare and essential trait. Once inside, they work to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, two major culprits behind memory loss and age-related mental fog. Eating walnuts regularly is like sending small protectors to guard your most precious thoughts. And the benefits don't stop at the brain. Walnuts are also rich in arginine, an amino acid that boosts circulation by promoting nitric oxide production. That means better blood flow to your legs, muscles, and brain, helping you feel more energized, balanced, and less prone to falls. For older adults, that's more than comfort, it's independence. Even your sleep can benefit. Walnuts contain natural melatonin, which gently supports your body's internal rhythm. A small handful in the evening can ease you into more restful sleep, which in turn supports better mental clarity the next day. For me, walnuts have become a daily habit. A small handful, mid-afternoon, maybe a few sprinkled on oatmeal. It's not just about eating right, it's about staying sharp, staying strong, and staying fully present for the life I still want to live. But walnuts are just one part of the puzzle. The next nut is a little brighter, a little sweeter, and surprisingly powerful when it comes to keeping your heart young and your eyesight strong. Ready to discover it? Let's keep going. 3. Pistachios. The heartbeat of mobility. That's what comes to mind every time I crack open a pistachio. In those vibrant green and soft purple hues lies something most folks overlook, a quiet strength that helps you stand taller, walk steadier, and see the world more clearly. You see, pistachios aren't just tasty. They're one of nature's most thoughtful gifts to older adults. Every beat of your heart, every confident step you take, those things depend on circulation, on stable blood pressure, on inner systems that rarely get attention until they start to falter. And as we age, that balance becomes harder to maintain. Blood pressure starts to creep up, arteries begin to stiffen, legs feel heavier, and energy doesn't last the way it used to. That's where pistachios step in. They're packed with potassium, a mineral that gently nudges blood pressure back into balance by counteracting the effects of sodium. And unlike some foods that come with health halos but hide added salt or sugar, pistachios are clean, simple, and heart-smart, offering steady support to your circulation without spikes or crashes. But their benefits reach beyond the heart. Pistachios also protect the eyes, which guide every step we take. They're rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful carotenoids that nourish the macula, the part of the eye responsible for central vision. This matters more than people realize. Clear sight isn't just about reading or watching TV. It's about maintaining independence, avoiding falls, and feeling confident every time you move through a room or cross a street. For seniors, that's not vanity, it's survival. Now, here's something small but mighty. The act of eating pistachios itself offers a benefit. Their shells require you to slow down, use your hands, and engage your coordination. That motion supports fine motor skills and keeps your fingers active. And because they're a bit of work to eat, they naturally encourage mindful eating, helping you feel satisfied without overindulging. Their crunch, too, is more than just satisfying. It gives your jaw a little exercise, which helps maintain oral strength. That's something many of us take for granted, until chewing becomes a chore, or we start to lose muscle tone in places we never thought about before. And then there's the joy, the color, the texture, the cheerful crack of the shell. Pistachios don't just feed your body, they lift your spirit. They remind us that taking care of ourselves doesn't have to be a burden. It can be something light, playful, and full of life. It can feel like celebration, not sacrifice. In every way that matters, heart, vision, mobility, strength, and joy, pistachios are not just nourishment. They are a heartbeat you can taste, a step you can trust, and a reminder that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean savoring more. So go ahead, crack one open. You're not just having a snack. You're reclaiming a little more power, one shell at a time. A secret tied not just to stronger muscles, but to the very rhythm of how your body ages, can be found in something as simple as the nuts you choose to eat. And now, as we close this journey, it's time to reflect on a truth many overlook. Your small daily decisions carry the power to shape your strength, your memory, and your future. For older adults, food is no longer just about taste. It's about function. It's about whether your next step will be steady or shaky, whether your thoughts will be sharp or clouded. Peanuts, cashews, and pine nuts may be familiar, but they hide dangers that grow more serious as we age. Calcium from your bones, spiking your blood sugar, interfering with medications, and worsening inflammation in your joints and brain. But knowledge gives you power, because not all nuts are created equal. Almonds, walnuts, and pistachios are nature's quiet defenders, supporting your heart, your muscles, your mind, and your bones. They help you stay strong, independent, and full of vitality. This isn't about fear. It's about reclaiming your strength with wisdom. Starting today, you can make a new choice. One that protects your body, honors your journey, and reminds you it's never too late to feel stronger, think clearer, and live fuller, one bite at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you learned today that surprised you or made you rethink your favorite snack? Maybe you're swapping out peanuts for almonds, or finally, giving walnuts the credit they deserve. Whatever it is, share it in the comments below so we can keep learning from each other, step by thoughtful step. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I welcome your honest feedback. Every response helps us grow and serve you better. And if you haven't already, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a health tip designed with you in mind. Thank you for spending your precious time with me today. Remember, getting older doesn't mean giving up strength, energy, or clarity. It just means making smarter, kinder choices for the body that's carried you this far. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep living life on your own beautiful terms.